Ethiopia is a land where time bends, history breathes, and ancient wonders still shape modern life. It's one of the world's most unique countries, the only African nation never colonized during the scramble for Africa, proudly preserving its sovereignty and cultural identity. Ethiopia follows its own ancient calendar with 13 months, placing it 7 to 8 years behind the Gregorian calendar, meaning while the world marked 2025, Ethiopia celebrated 2017. It's also the only African country with its own native script, Ge'ez, a writing system that dates back over 1,000 years and is still used in liturgy and literature. Ethiopia is believed to be the cradle of humankind, where the 3.2 million year old remains of Lucy, Australopithecus afarensis, were unearthed, rewriting the story of human evolution. The nation is also one of the first in the world to embrace Christianity. The Ethiopian Orthodox Church has existed since the 4th century and remains central to the nation's culture and identity. Nowhere is this more visible than in Lalibela, where 11 incredible rock-hewn churches, carved from solid stone in the 12th century, stand as a testament to faith, architecture, and perseverance. And let's not forget, coffee, one of the world's favorite beverages, was born here with the legend of the goat herder Kaldi, who discovered the energizing effects of the coffee bean. Ethiopia's highlands, deserts, ancient cities, and cultural traditions form a tapestry of resilience, pride, and awe-inspiring legacy. Simply put, Ethiopia is not just a country, it's a living storybook of humanity. Want this turned into a voiceover or intro for a documentary too? Ethiopia's wonders stretch far beyond history books and ancient relics. It's a nation where past, present, and future coexist in powerful harmony. The country is home to over 80 different ethnic groups and more than 90 languages, making it one of the most culturally diverse nations on the planet. Each region has its own traditions, clothing, music, and festivals, from the colorfully adorned tribes of the Omo Valley to the highland communities preserving ancient customs in the Simien Mountains. Ethiopia's geography is equally stunning. It boasts Africa's largest continuous mountain range, dramatic canyons, volcanic landscapes like the Danakil Depression, one of the hottest and most otherworldly places on Earth, and the Blue Nile, one of the two major tributaries of the Nile River. Add to that the fact that Ethiopia has its own time system. The day starts at 6 a.m., not midnight, so their clocks run differently too. It's like stepping into an entirely different rhythm of life. Even the country's flag and symbolism have inspired Pan-African movements, and it's no coincidence that Addis Ababa, Ethiopia's capital, is also the headquarters of the African Union, often called the political capital of Africa. Despite facing modern challenges, Ethiopia continues to rise with pride, powered by a young, dynamic population and a deep connection to its unmatched heritage. In every corner of this land, there's a story waiting to be told, a reminder that Ethiopia isn't just part of history, it is history, and the future too. Ethiopia is also a nation of firsts and onlys, where uniqueness defines every aspect of life. It was once ruled by the legendary Emperor Haile Selassie I, a global figure whose leadership inspired the Rastafari movement. His legacy still echoes through reggae music, spiritual philosophies, and African liberation movements around the world. The ancient Kingdom of Aksum, which existed in northern Ethiopia over 1,000 years ago, was one of the great civilizations of the ancient world, minting its own coins, trading with Rome and India, and even being among the first empires to adopt Christianity as a state religion. It's also said to be the resting place of the Ark of the Covenant, hidden in the Church of St. Mary of Zion in Aksum, guarded by a single monk and cloaked in centuries of legend. In the heart of all this, Ethiopia remains fiercely proud and independent. The Ethiopian victory at the Battle of Adwa in 1896, where local forces defeated an invading European army, still stands as one of Africa's greatest moments of resistance and triumph. It proved that an African nation could stand up to colonial power and win. That same resilient spirit lives on today in the energy of Ethiopian youth, the innovation of its growing tech hubs like Sheba Valley, and the global recognition of its artists, athletes, and thinkers. To know Ethiopia is to witness a country where time flows differently, where every step echoes with ancient footsteps, and where modern life still dances to the rhythm of centuries old traditions. It's not just a destination, it's an experience, a place that challenges your understanding of the world, surprises you with every fact, and fills your soul with awe. Ethiopia is not just mind blowing, it's soul shaking. And perhaps what makes Ethiopia truly unforgettable is its unbreakable connection to identity and heritage. While much of the world races toward uniformity, Ethiopia embraces its differences, guarding its languages, preserving its ancient rituals, and passing down stories not just through books, but through oral traditions, music, dance, and art. From the rhythmic beats of the traditional Eskista dance, where shoulders move with mesmerizing precision, to the melodic call to prayer echoing from both churches and mosques, the country is a symphony of spiritual and cultural depth. Ethiopian cuisine is another world of its own, rich, flavorful, and communal. Dishes like injera and dorawat aren't just meals. They're experiences shared across a single platter, symbolizing unity and connection. Coffee ceremonies are not quick caffeine fixes. They are sacred moments of bonding, hospitality, and respect, often lasting hours and representing a deep social tradition that honors both guests and ancestors. Despite challenges such as droughts, conflicts, and economic hurdles, Ethiopia has never lost its spirit. It continues to inspire and rise, producing world class long distance runners, award winning filmmakers, influential diplomats, and globally recognized entrepreneurs. It's a land where ancient monasteries stand beside modern universities, and where every child grows up with the heartbeat of history in their blood and the fire of potential in their eyes. To visit Ethiopia, or even to learn about it, is to come face to face with a civilization that has never been conquered, never forgotten who it is, and never stopped evolving. It teaches us that greatness isn't always loud, it's deep, rooted, and enduring. Ethiopia doesn't just tell the African story, it is the African story. Proud, powerful, and timeless. And Ethiopia's legacy continues to echo far beyond its borders. Its influence can be felt across the African continent and within diasporas around the world. The Ethiopian cross, the distinct green, yellow, red flag, the haunting beauty of Tizita music, often called the Ethiopian blues, all carry a message of perseverance, pride, and cultural depth that inspires generations. In a world that often chases novelty, Ethiopia stands tall as a reminder that the oldest stories can still be the most powerful. Nature, too, tells a story here. From the jagged peaks of the Simien Mountains, often called the Roof of Africa, to the surreal, alien like terrain of the Danakil Depression, Ethiopia's landscape is as dramatic as its history. You'll find salt flats that stretch to the horizon, active lava lakes glowing under the stars, and ancient monasteries perched on cliffs that seem impossible to reach. And yet, monks have climbed there for centuries, seeking silence, enlightenment, and a connection to the divine. It's this kind of spiritual strength that weaves through Ethiopia's past and present, anchoring its people in something deeper than time. In truth, Ethiopia doesn't just impress, it awakens. It reminds us that Africa's greatness isn't just in its future, it's in its foundations. And Ethiopia, with its unshakable roots and soaring spirit, continues to teach the world that history is not just something we learn, it's something we live, carry, and shape every single day. Ethiopia is not just mind blowing, it's legendary. And legends, they never fade, they grow. In the global conversation about ancient civilizations and cultural greatness, Ethiopia often stands like a quiet giant, not always loud, but always present, always profound. It's a land where myth and reality intertwine, where tales of Queen Sheba and ancient prophets still ripple through modern consciousness, where faith isn't just a belief but a way of life deeply embedded in stone, song, and soul. The sacred city of Aksum, once the heart of a vast empire, still draws pilgrims and historians alike, fascinated by the towering obelisks, ancient tombs, and the whispered legend of the Ark of the Covenant, believed by many to reside within its walls. Ethiopia's story is one of resilience without arrogance, a power that doesn't shout but shapes. Its strength is seen in its farmers who cultivate the same land their ancestors did centuries ago. It's felt in the heartbeat of its athletes, like Haile Gebrselassie and Kenenisa Bekele, who run not just for medals but for national pride. And it's echoed in its youth, bright, driven, and ready to blend their ancient roots with modern innovation. Whether in bustling tech startups in Addis Ababa or remote villages preserving their own calendars, Ethiopians live with a deep sense of who they are and where they come from. To truly understand Ethiopia is to understand a living paradox, a country that's ancient yet youthful, traditional yet forward looking, humble yet heroic. It's not just a destination on a map, it's a compass for what it means to stand tall, hold fast, and carry your story boldly into the future. Ethiopia isn't just part of the African narrative, it's the heartbeat of it. And once you've felt that rhythm, you never forget it. Ethiopia's rhythm is not only unforgettable, it's transformative. It changes the way you see Africa, history, identity, and even yourself. It teaches that true richness isn't always found in gold or skyscrapers, but in stories passed through generations, in landscapes carved by time and spirit, and in people who walk with quiet dignity, rooted in unshakable heritage. In a world that often seeks fast answers and flashy headlines, Ethiopia offers something deeper: wisdom. The wisdom of monks who meditate in mountain caves untouched by centuries. The wisdom of elders who still speak in proverbs and oral poetry. The wisdom of a people who've weathered invasions, famine, and political storms, but who still rise again and again, carrying their past not as a burden, but as a crown. And while its past is astonishing, Ethiopia's future is just as compelling. It's one of Africa's fastest growing economies, with bold visions in education, technology, agriculture, and green energy. The new generation of Ethiopians is stepping onto the world stage not only as descendants of greatness, but as creators of what comes next. Their art, fashion, film, and innovation are reintroducing Ethiopia to the world, not as a relic of history, but as a beacon of what modern African excellence looks like. To explore Ethiopia is to take a journey into the soul of a nation that remembers everything and forgets nothing. A place where every mountain, every melody, and every meal tells 1,000 stories. And the deeper you go, the more you realize this isn't just about Ethiopia. It's about humanity, our roots, our resilience, our potential. And Ethiopia, ancient and eternal, is calling us to remember who we truly are. Because in Ethiopia, you don't just witness history, you feel it. It pulses beneath your feet as you walk the stone paths of Gondar's royal castles, echoes through the chants of priests in Aksum's sacred temples, and dances in the flames of a coffee ceremony shared between strangers who quickly become family. It's in the raw silence of the Danakil Depression where Earth reveals her most primal face, and in the thunder of waterfalls along the Blue Nile, where nature seems to speak with divine authority. This is a country where time doesn't pass, it lingers, where modern skylines in Addis Ababa rise alongside ancient relics and the hum of progress blends with the hum of prayer. It's where digital ambition meets ancestral wisdom, and the two don't compete, they complement. Ethiopia is not simply developing, it is evolving on its own terms, rooted in tradition but reaching boldly toward tomorrow, and the world is watching. Tourists, scholars, artists, and visionaries are all being drawn to Ethiopia, not out of charity or curiosity, but out of respect. Respect for a people who have preserved their truth through every trial. Respect for a land that has given so much to the human story. And respect for a nation that continues to offer something the modern world desperately needs: depth, authenticity, and soul. In the end, Ethiopia isn't just a chapter in the Book of Africa. It's the prologue to humanity's entire story, and perhaps its most powerful reminder that what lasts is what's built on purpose, faith, and an unshakable sense of identity. Ethiopia is not just unforgettable, it's eternal.